September 25th, 1982. What was on TV back then? What was your favorite show in 1982? Quick context. This is the era of broadcast TV. There were basically 3 channels, plus maybe 3 or 4 VHF channels showing some odd stuff, some movies, etc. Cable was around, but not widely adopted yet. Let's get into it. So this is fall of 1982. Check out this great ad right here. And it folds out, so we may not be able to see it. Let's see if we spot some of these folks. There's a guy from MASH. There's Trapper John. There's Magnum. There's Daisy Duke. This is great. So yeah, I guess maybe some of the new shows were coming on in early October. What was it? Late September. Yeah, late September. So yeah, that would have been just about right. But yeah, this is an amazing ad here. I've never seen one like this in any of the ones I've gone through. Come on, folks. Sarah Jessica Parker, Square Pegs. Why is that show completely lost for all time? So we can't see Sarah Jessica Parker anymore. This looks insane. 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. I think MacGyver was on that. I can't remember for sure. We might see some specific ads for some of these in here. What the devil? Oh yeah, I remember this. Private Benjamin. What is this? The Shadow Riders. Knots Landing, of course. Dukes of Hazzard, Dallas. All the ones we know. Apple Dumpling Gang rides again. Alright, what a great ad. Let's get into it. Yeah, this TV guide, this one here that I have is super brittle, so we might see some pages getting ripped out. It's not on purpose. It is what it is. Check out these home electronic stuff from Sears. Get a whole desk for brand new desk for 99 bucks. Probably more sturdy than anything you can buy now. Look at this answering machine, folks. 90 bucks for that. They call it a phone answerer. That is hilarious. We all remember those if we grew up back in the day. We don't care about these news people. Parliament 100s. Recessed filter. I do not remember any cigarettes with recessed filters. I said more than news stuff. Widget. Okay, it's like a little X-Acto knife, basically. Pretty cool, though. Kmart. Get a whole muffler installed for 18 bucks. Now you can't get an oil change for $100. That's wild, though. Arrested plus muffler installed. I wonder if that's just the installation. I don't know. Gotta read to find out. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this one. I hope it's not a bunch in this batch, but it's like the pages are basically brittle and ripping out as I turn them. But I guess it's what, 43 years old or something? This show was decent in my memory. Of course, Lou Gossett is good. That guy was good. This Powers of Matthew Starr. He was basically like an alien with superpowers, but it was better than it sounds. Oh, okay, they had some kind of writer strike or something in Hollywood. Oh, drug arrest. Huh. I mean, everybody does drugs, right? All these actors and actresses. Will a cable-ready TV work with a cable system more than 12 channels? Wow. So they're talking like a cable-ready TV might only have 12 channels. I didn't have cable till like the 90s, so I know nothing about the early days of cable. Absolutely nothing about it. I do know there were limited channels, but I thought it was more than 12. All right, so again, this is 82. We will see some cool ads because it looks like a lot of the new shows are coming on. How great is this? Saw this in another one we went through, but still a great ad. Here's one we hadn't seen, I don't think, but that's pretty cool. So this is ABC, this was NBC. ABC, you got the Pac-Man, you got the Little Rascals. I still need to look that up. Richie Rich, I used to watch. Never even remember these, but yeah, Mork and Minnie cartoon and a Laverne and Shirley cartoon. I did look up the Laverne and Shirley, and it looks like they put them in the army, which kind of is weird, but maybe it works. I don't know. Looks like this old house was on in 82. Yeah, you got that Incredible Hulk Spider-Man hour. That was so great. You got, what did I just see? Oh, that Gary Coleman cartoon. Oh, this is the debut of that Pac-Man cartoon. That's hilarious. Everybody had Pac-Man fever back then. I definitely watched that cartoon as a kid. I don't remember anything about it other than the ghosts. Black Star cartoon. I vaguely remember that. Some show called Kids World. Sneak previews was the Siskel and Ebert thing, but it doesn't say what they're reviewing this week. All right, so if you are slightly a TV Guide aficionado, you'll remember this, like primetime thing. But if you remember like I do, it went all the way across the page. It looks like in the early days, first in the early days, they didn't have it at all. It was just all listings like this. And then when they brought it in, they just brought it in for prime time. And then eventually they expanded it from like 5 o'clock all the way to like midnight or whatever. But this is a nice snapshot. This is usually how we look at the prime time lineup. And then we hopefully will see some cool ads like that. But let's see what's coming on Saturday night in 1982. Revenge of the Pink Panther. That's that weird live action with like, what's his name? The unfunny guy that everybody likes. So it has nothing to do with Pink Panther cartoon. But this is great. Different Strokes, Silver Spoons, and then a 2-hour Facts of Life Goes to Paris. That sounds fun. And then we got TJ Hooker and a 2-hour Love Boat. So hopefully there's an ad for that to tell us what's going on Love Boat and why it's 2 hours. Yeah, and I guess because this is Wisconsin, it starts at 7 instead of 8 like we're used to, like us civilized people are used to. I think Soundstage is a good music show. And it looks like up in Wisconsin they had this Channel 18 with a lot of country stuff, which is fun because Glenn Campbell is great. And there was a lot of good country music in the 70s and 80s. How about that? Apple Dumpling Gang. It's just a fun ad. Be nice to know who else is in it. Tim Matheson, Kenneth Marsh, Harry Morgan. I mean, are there any females in it, folks? Hello. Look how great this is. Look at Heather Locklear with that feathered hairstyle. If you didn't have a feathered hairstyle in the 80s, you weren't cool. And of course, he can't feather his because his is a toupee. Yeah, look at this great ad. Man, this might have been the first season of Silver Spoons because he looks super young there. Kind of looks like it is because they're explaining the concept of the show. Who remembers Aaron Gray from Buck Rogers and everywhere else? Where are my Aaron Gray fans at? Yeah, this guy, Peter Sellers. I don't know about that guy. So yeah, it would have the Pink Panther, but it had nothing to do with the Pink Panther. It was just like him doing bumbling stuff. Kind of British humor, which is almost an oxymoron. British and humor. Yeah, here's that soundstage. Doesn't tell us who's on it though. Oh yeah, it does. The blasters. Here's the 2-hour thing. How great is that? Maybe we'll try to see why the Love Boat is 2 hours. Maybe it was a season premiere of Love Boat or something. Yes, I've never seen this episode. This looks fun. Love Boat. It says it's a repeat, but it's 2 hours long. Linda Evans is on there. Oh, Saturday Night Live. How great is that? I'm not sure what... Oh, the 83 Saturday Night Live? I wonder if that's a misprint. Because this is definitely from 82. I'm not mistaken there. Solid gold. Joe Cocker, Jermaine Jackson, Charlie Daniels, Billy Idol. Man, how good is that? This is just what was on back then, folks. This is what we were producing back then. Now we just look back and try to reproduce old stuff. And that's not what I'm doing. I'm looking back at the original stuff. I'm not trying to make a new version of it. What is this? Laugh Tracks, Kool and the Gang, Billy Idol. Comedy and music. It's interesting. Comes on super late at night though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any context for this, but it looks like they have some good music on there. And I guess some comedians. So here's the 1982 roster of the Dolphins and the Pack. So where are we at? We're in Sunday morning now. Battle of the Planets. Got some anime in 82. Maybe one of the first anime to make it to America and get dubbed into English. 60 Minutes, Archie Bunker. Yeah, I don't know the whole chronology, but I think it was All in the Family, and then it became this Archie Bunker's Place, and I don't know how much they changed it up or not. Hands-on woodworking. I guess Mike Ditka was coach in 82. Look at this, such a great ad. If you don't remember Ripley's Believe It or Not, it was a really fun show, especially as a kid. Jack Palance was so great. Go check out some of those episodes if you've never seen it. His narration and stuff just really made it way more engaging. Anybody remember Engaging Television? What's going on here? I guess they're going to show us on the next page. Fastest show on TV. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just looked nothing like Michael Knight. I guess these are just people who are watching it. But yeah. 2-hour movie. Ha, what a great ad. I recently saw the 2-hour pilot of Knight Rider, and it was pretty good. It had a slightly darker edge to it. But yeah, I guess this premiered in 82. I know I loved Knight Rider, but I don't remember exactly when it premiered. Alright, so we're on Sunday night. We got Archie Bunker, Gloria, One Day at a Time. Looks like the Jeffersons were still on in 82. We got 2-hour Knight Rider going up against 2-hour Matt Houston. That's pretty strong. TV snippets or bloopers, and whatever became of. Yeah, these all sound like fun, interesting shows. It's a pretty good lineup for Sunday night. You see how few channels there were, even if you had cable, and if you didn't, you just have these, and you may not even catch all these, get reception for all these in your area. Look at this, Matt Houston. Yeah, I think his boss was the girl from Buck Rogers. I barely remember that, but yeah, Lee Horsley, great actor, charisma. R.I.P. actors with charisma. That was a bygone era. Debut. I wonder if this was the first season of Matt Houston. Pamela Hensley was that lady's name who was on Buck Rogers. Jill St. John. So yeah, they're bringing in some guest stars for the first episode, which is always smart. Okay, there's that Gloria show with Sally Struthers. Yeah, a lot of these would have probably been new shows, so they got these giant ads, which is great. Trapper John, the dude from Bonanza. For some reason, that guy took himself a little too seriously, but hey, it is what it is. Jefferson One Day at a Time. Who liked Valerie Bertinelli when they were kids? I was a little too young. I didn't watch that show. I was a Daisy Duke guy myself. Yeah, there's the debut of that Gloria show. So a lot of these are probably brand new shows. Whatever became of past celebrities. Oh, okay. Among the scheduled subjects, Sandra D. Yeah, I gotta admit, I haven't heard a lot of these past celebrities. A lot of celebrities would not want to be featured on that because they wouldn't want to be called has-beens. There's that laugh tracks again. It's such a great concept. Kool and the Gang, Billy Idol. I know nothing about it though. Get some Sears photos for 12 bucks. Looks like you get 20 photos for that. They would have the setup, they would have the camera, the backdrop. All you had to do was sit down and get your picture taken. Maybe even make a calendar out of it. Alright, that's Sunday night. It's gonna be a diet pill. So I've seen lots of diet pills in these TV guides that I've been going through. Yep. And it's basically like caffeine or something, like speed. Basically speed. Alright, so this TV guide's not ripping apart too bad, but we're into Monday morning. Got Country Day coming on with Gary Schindel in Wisconsin. What else is coming on in the morning on Monday mornings? Not a lot. Not much to choose from. Bugs Bunny, Sesame Street, there we go. We got Racquetball on ESPN. I liked the $25,000 pyramid when I was young. Secrets your clothes reveal. I mean, fashion was very important in the 80s. Still don't know why they changed it from Chips to Chips Patrol. And you guys have not been leaving me informative comments to fill in the blanks here. Alright, so we're into Monday. Look at that. That's incredible. It's similar to that Ripley's Believe It or Not. Kind of a similar show. Bionic musician. All right, let's see what's on Monday night. There's our girl Sarah Jessica Parker in Square Pegs, followed by Private Benjamin, Little House, A New Beginning. That's incredible, and some football show. Okay, so movies and NFL football, so maybe we'll see what some of those movies are. Yeah, I don't care how fast you are, you can't beat a racehorse. I guess you got a head start or something. Here's Square Pigs. How great is that? I guess that show never caught on, but it seemed like a good show. And they actually had high school students, at least from what I've seen, that look like high school students and didn't look like 30-year-old actors trying to play high school. Little House. Laura's grown up. She's doing her own thing. She's got a baby. She got her baby daddy. Now they were married in the show. And here's the guy from Wisconsin, Bob Schultze, the Schultzmeister. Changed the mark at the beginning of the 9th season in Walnut Grove. Yeah, I think now they just refer, even if it says New the Beginning back then, I think you just refer to it as like the 9th season of Little House now. Maybe similar to that Chips Patrol thing. Private Benjamin. Huh. Oh, this is a Dropout Father thing. It's like Dick Van Dyke and Mariette Hartley. She's great. It's a weird picture of her, but she's great. She was, we all loved her in the late 70s. I think she was on the Hulk a few times. Okay, so this is Willie Nelson. Is that Diane Cannon? Hit movie, huh? If you say so. Well, Amy Irving's in it. Maybe it is a hit movie. I mean, I'd tune in for Amy Irving. Oh, look at this. Country Christmas. That's pretty cool. Guess, yeah, I guess it'd be time to start getting your Christmas music together. Especially if you're mailing away for it. So we had to do for the internet, folks. You had to do this. You cut out a coupon, put your check in the mail, and just know it will show up. And it would. Tuesday and during the day, we've kind of already seen the weekday stuff. We got Psychology of Human Relations. Look at these ads. Laverne and Shirley. That's funny. Yeah, remember her? Remember this whole era of Happy Days? I barely remember it until I see this. Fawn's like settled down with this girl, and she had a little daughter who was so cute. Maybe this is when that first happened because it's the season premiere. But yeah, it became a thing because you know they were growing and changing. They didn't just stick to one formula on there. They jumped the shark a few times. What's going on here? Shirley's marrying a mummy. Never seen that episode. What's this? Man of Two Worlds. I think I saw this in another one that I went through. And there's Merlin Olsen. Big star of the 70s and early 80s. Was also on Little House. All right, Tuesday evening. Look at that Tom Selleck and who else? Oh, here we go. Sam Elliott. I thought so. This picture's a little weird, but yeah. I think we know her too, but that's another weird drawing there. All right, we got the Bring 'Em Back Alive show, and then we got this Shadow Riders. We got Father Murphy. We got Brew Crew on TV in Wisconsin. We got Milwaukee Profiles. I think they're profiling a beer. I think every week they profile a beer, not a human being, because it's Wisconsin, man. Look at this. I think I've seen that movie. It's Goldie. Yeah, Goldie and Chevy Chase. This is a fun movie if you haven't seen it. It's not a sex comedy. It's more like a lighthearted deal. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, it's a cute movie. No, nothing sexual about it, other than the fact that like that's his ex-wife or something. He's trying to get her back or something. Three's Company. This is the Priscilla Barnes era. I'm a Jenny Lee person myself, but everybody has their own favorite. And there's that 9 to 5. They even tried to make her look like Dolly Parton, but it's not Dolly Parton. It's like a TV sitcom version of 9 to 5. Heart to Heart. It's a great ad there. Yeah, there's that Neil Simon comedy movie. Got some show called Plimpton Adventure in Africa. Says he's stalking big game. I hope he's not actually trying to shoot this elephant, but that's the way it makes it sound. That's pretty sick if that's what's going on. I might have to Google Plimpton and see if it was just, they were just trying to take photos or something. Another great ad here. Yeah, we love this show. We love Joyce DeWitt, John Ritter, Suzanne. Madam's Place. I wonder if that was that puppet, that Madam puppet. Who remembers that? That was a thing. Computer kids. Computers would have been... Not many people would have had a computer at this time. And all you could do was like type DOS commands and stuff back then. Alright, Wednesday evening. So there's that 7 Bars for 7 Brothers show. That definitely didn't catch on. Facts of Life, Family Ties, Quincy. That's a pretty good lineup. Brew Crew's on again. Guess you could watch the Brewers all summer long up there. It's kind of nice because you didn't have ESPN. Most people wouldn't. Carol and Jimmy and War Requiem. Requiem. Tales of the Gold Monkey. I know we saw that in another one I went through. Yeah, it's basically an Indiana Jones ripoff. At least that's my take on it. But it might be good. But yeah, this would have been right after Raiders of the Lost Ark. A year or so later. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's MacGyver. Don't know who she is on the Gold Monkey show. Might be an actress we know. Hello. Oh, that's a real people. Highballing across America. Funny. Facts of Life. Is Joe thrown out of school? Where are my Facts of Life fans at? In my household this time, we stuck to more of the guy shows, so I missed out on some of these. Look at her. Okay, this looks fun. Wednesday night movie. A wife, a mother in debt. She turned to prostitution, discovered she'd never known before. Geez, that's pretty wild. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it as well. So I'm giving you guys gems as usual, free of charge. We got some movie called, I guess it's called Money on the Side. It's got, I know who she is. Maybe that's Karen Valentine. We know who Jamie Lee Curtis is, but in some goofy movie in '82, that might be interesting. Don't see any other names in that. Maybe we'll look. 8 o'clock. What is it called? Money on the Side. Here's another going back. They're going head to head with some movies here. Carol Burnett and somebody. And then check out this Family Ties ad. That's great. All right, let's see what these movies are. Or just see maybe who else is in them. Is that Life of the Party? I already forgot. I know one was called Cash on the Side. Life of the Party. Yeah, it doesn't say who else is in it. And then here's that Money on the Side thing. Christopher Lloyd's in it. That's kind of funny. May not be suitable for all members of the family. I mean, you tell them about mom becoming a hooker or whatever. So maybe not. They really were pretty strict about that back in the 80s, about when they would come on. So technically this would be 9 o'clock at night. They would not let something like that come on at 8. But since we're in Wisconsin, I guess it's slightly different. But they really did uphold like certain standards like that. All right, we're already into Thursday. We got 5 o'clock live with Susan Finko. She looks like she's about 12, but I'm just an old guy now, so what can I say? But she's, I guess, a news lady. Check this out, Magnum PI. 2-hour special. Magnum was a good show. So we got the 2-hour Magnum. We got an hour-long Fame with Cheers, Taxi, and Hill Street. Man, how strong is that? Joni Loves Chachi. Star of the Family, Too Close for Comfort. Don't know what Star of the Family is. We got State of Wisconsin. I guess the Brew Crew's not playing tonight, so they're just talking about the state of Wisconsin. Joni Love Chachi, how great is that? So Fonzie's still going. He's got his new little family, and then they've spun off and got their own show. I like this show just because it was the younger cast, and those are the ones that I liked when I was younger. Here's that Star of the Family. What's his name is always great. Brian Dennehy. He's great in everything he does. He's just one of those guys. Kind of recognize her. Guess she's like a little child star, and then he's the dad that has to watch out for her. Some of these concepts, I say this in every video, some of these concepts were strong. But if you didn't get the ratings right away back then, they would yank you so quick back then. There's Fame, hour-long season premiere. That was a big show for a couple years. Really big show, based on the movie that was also popular. And this is a fun drawing here. Okay, I guess we gotta turn the page. Oh, Cheers, that's a great ad though. Yeah, series premiere, check this out. So this is the beginning of a legendary show in 1982. And they're saying, hey, remember Ted Danson from Body Heat? Which I don't. I just recently saw Body Heat too. Shelley Long from Night Shift. Wow, what a great ad though. That's great nostalgia right there. I usually don't get too nostalgia-ic, but that's great nostalgia right there. Rhea Perlman, Coach. Yeah, they're talking about the concept of the show. Friendly neighborhood bar run by an ex-Red Sox pitcher, so they're trying to tell you what it's about. What an awesome trip that was. Here's Taxi. We loved every member of the cast on Taxi. That's what made it great. We love Mary Lou holding it down amongst all the dudes. Knots Landing. Hill Street. Hill Street was a staple in the early 80s. One of the great theme songs of all time in openings. All right, we're into Thursday, so we got one day left. And hopefully you all have seen enough of my videos to know that there's sometimes some gems in the back matter. So if you click off before the end, you might miss some really good stuff. I'm not just saying that. Not always, but sometimes there's some real interesting stuff in the back. Friday night, they were really going for it on Friday nights. We got Dukes of Hazzard. We got the nighttime soaps. We got that Matthew Starr, Knight Rider, Remington Steele. We got the Brew Crew coming back. What else do we have? World's Great. Oh, the Battle of the Network Stars. Man, I hope they have an ad for that, because it's hard to go into detail without showing you the ads. How great is this? Oh, so this was the Coy and Vance year. Those who know. They didn't want to pay the guy, so they just brought two dudes in. It was actually not bad, though. I didn't rage quit. I still enjoyed it. And then the original guys came back, I think, so. Look at this great Knight Rider ad. Vroom, okay. What are we, 5 years old? It's a great ad, though. Spectacular movie is now a series. David Hasselhoff, star of Young and the Restless. I did not know that. Remington Steele. What a great show. Like impossible to get the DVDs. It's so weird how some of these, they just didn't like put out the collections, and some of them they did. Yeah, here's that Battle of the Network Stars. If you're not familiar, it was crazy because they'd have these actors out there like doing kayaking and sprinting and all kinds of crazy sports. And it was slightly embarrassing for some of them because you would really see which ones were like klutzes and which ones were kind of natural athletes. And I don't know if they were like contractually obligated because they were on these networks or how it worked. But it was fun as a viewer, but then as an adult, you're looking at it, you're like, man, this might not have been fun for some of these actors to go out there and sort of embarrass themselves. But we got Heather Thomas out there. We got the two Heathers. We got Heather Thomas and Heather Locklear. We got Delta Burke out there. We got Joan Van Ark out there. You could probably find all these on YouTube if you just Google it. I saw Melissa Gilbert. Seems like Melissa Gilbert was always out there, so maybe she was like more of a natural athlete. And then Shatner, I can't imagine. Well, I mean, he did all the crazy stunts on T.J. Hooker, so who knows? Another great ad. Looks nothing like Pierce Brosnan, but it's still a great ad, and that's a good likeness of her. Stephanie Zimbalist, yeah. They're giving us a write-up on the Brew Crew, the first game of a doubleheader. Joined in progress. That's interesting. All right. So that is Friday night. Let's see, Solid Gold's coming on. Check this out. So this looks like a music show coming on just called Fridays, but they got the Stray Cats, Karen Allen, Michael Richards. Wow. Something called Fridays. Looked like another sort of like comedy / music thing. But again, this era, they probably have a bunch of good musicians and comedians. Look at this guy. If you smoke your Bel Airs, you're going to get a chick like that on your arm. So maybe I need to buy a pack of Bel Airs. Richard Harris, we know him from Unforgiven and a lot of other stuff. And yeah, this is falling apart. But let's see what else we got in this back matter. Get a sewing machine for $199. Get a fridge for $530. Still be a pretty steep price back then. See how when microwaves first came out, they were pretty expensive, like $500 for a microwave. A lot of people could not afford that, including my family. So we just cooked on the stove. These guys are cool, but they don't have that lady on their arm with the bathing suit. So got your Seagram 7. Got this irrelevant Robert McKenzie guy. All right, 82, sorry, we learned some stuff as usual. Thanks for joining me, and see you in the next one.